Stop recording, remember?
Okay, we just started.
Okay. All right, hey, thanks everybody for coming today, and thanks for whoever's watching online. I hope it all streams perfectly. This is really neat technology, I think, to have live streaming. Plus, it'll be recorded so that when or if you want to see it again, you can go and watch it again. And I'm going to be Bob Barker today because for some reason our system likes this microphone. So that's what I'm going to be. I don't know if y'all remember The Price is Right, this big one.
Yeah. Yes, we remember.
Anyway, first Tuesday of every month, I have a lead list get together and I want to talk to people. Originally, it had started to tell people how to be on the lead list and how to stay on the lead list. Now it's, that's not so hard. So I try to pick a topic every month to talk about to help you be more successful in converting those leads as well as any other leads that you have. But first, let me start by saying who I am. For those of you that don't know, I'm Lisa Valero, and I'm Boyd and Liz's daughter, if you know who Boyd and Liz are. And I work up here in the service company, and I do a lot of different things. And I used to say I was really a jack of all trades, which I kind of am, but I've been focusing a lot on the multimedia aspects of the company. But if you have a question about just about anything, you can ask me, and I can tell you who to ask. You know, I'm a good operator too. I can send you the right direction. So I'm always a good person to say, who would know this? And I can say, they probably would. I'd like for y'all to, you get me today instead of my infamous, wonderful Mama Liz, but she'll be back next week. So I want everybody to go around and introduce themselves. Rudy, would you start? Am I putting you on the spot?
No.
Say who you are and where you're from and what office.
I'm Rudy Master, and I hope to be with the Mount Pleasant office here. I'm an ABL salesperson, all with license.
All the license. That is exactly what the government wants to hear. As long as we're bypassing laws. There you go.
And I'm June Cameron Maxner. Been doing this a long time.
And you are the license.
Yes.
That's right. See, they go together.
But I passed the exam, I just got to get Liz to sign me off.
I'm teasing.
Glenda Sizemore with Mount Pleasant office.
Okay.
Caroline Jumper, Isle of Palms office.
Awesome.
Mary Nielsen, Mount Pleasant office.
Oh my goodness. Let's see if I can actually do this. This thing, they really works pretty far, so.
Lisa Donahoe, Mount Pleasant office.
Uta Appleby, Mount Pleasant office.
Joshua Hewitt, Mount Pleasant office.
Marjorie Silvinger, Mount Pleasant office.
Marjorie Silvinger, okay.
Donna Nettles, IOP.
Mark Costello, IOP. Nick Perry, Mount Pleasant.
The Suffolk, Goose Creek.
Mary Shankin, Goose Creek.
Rebecca Dante, soon to be licensed, West Ashley.
Okay.
Clara Hahn.
This office.
Yes.
And Laura Renata, Mount Pleasant.
Yes. I think, let us say, I think. I know, I knew just about everybody. That's pretty good on my part, because I can do stuff. Today, I wanted to talk about social media, and a lot of y'all may say, well, how does that have anything to do with leads? And it does in the fact that there is this add-on tool that you can add to your Google email called Reportive that I think if you're in real estate, you must have Reportive. So we got to do a couple steps to lead up to where you can use Reportive successfully. Okay, so that's how social media ties in. Now, it's always good to get your name out there, build your brand, stuff like that. But the ultimate goal for the lead list today is reported. And that is the most important thing. Linda's bringing me up more of these, so. Uh-oh. I don't like to hear myself. Okay, so social media, I have a handout, and you'll get it in a minute. Social media, you could define it. I put a little Wikipedia definition in there that's just ridiculous and long.
They're still printing out.
Okay, thank you. Here, you just pass them around. And then it goes on, that definition goes on and on and on. But what's important to me about it is that more and more people are going to social media, or spending more time on social media than other things. Often, well, for a very long time, people in real estate and other businesses were focused on Google as far as getting search engine ranking, Google, SEO, that kind of stuff. That is your web focus for your business plan. And within the last, oh gosh, everything moves so fast in the real estate, in the technology world. I would say definitely within the last 6 months. Things have shifted, and things have shifted a lot. And there's a lot of talk about how Facebook is going up. And it's going to be a contender with Google. Not exactly in the same way, but people, advertising dollars, definitely they're competing, and they're competing well. But people use Facebook in a different way than they do Google. So that's another reason it is important to know about social media. So I thought I'd write down, who can tell me one social media site? Facebook, okay, that's the first one everybody thinks about, Facebook. And I can't write because I hurt my hand. That's my excuse today, because I don't usually write very well anyway. Okay, another one. LinkedIn. All right, another one. Twitter, yeah. Y'all not missing my advertisement for our noon live lottery. You tune in to H&M TV, you'll see it. See if somebody wins $1,000. So anyway, that's all up there. Okay, another one.
Pinterest.
Pinterest? Good, that's yeah, definitely. Okay, any others?
Google.
Google Plus. Google, yes. And Google Plus is trying to go directly in competition with Facebook. That's their kind of angle, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Any others? I know y'all know more, but that's all right. You don't have to say them if you don't want to. But give me one more. Come on, Nick, tell me one more. You know one more.
YouTube.
My computer, I think, is about to blow up.
YouTube,
Oh.
okay. Well, you don't have to look at your computer, you should know it. YouTube, thank you. All right, well, let's see. Y'all, yes, you got it, okay. These are the must ones. All right, if you're going to be in real estate, you need to have accounts on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Google+. Have to, that's a must. Before you do it, though, as you can see at the bottom, I have a little chart. The ones that I think that are a must, ones that I think that are good, and one that I think, they're not really a waste of time. If you're interested in it, you can do it. I will have this PDF up for the people that are watching on the computer right after this, so y'all can see the ones I'm talking about. But really, actually, the ones I put in the waste column are the much younger, I say much younger. Now see, Marjorie, you use Instagram, don't you? Yep. Do you use Pinger? No.
I use Instagram.
Reddit?
Nope.
No, okay. Instagram is kind of that's a hard call for me, because I know a lot of 20-year-olds and, a few years above and below use Instagram. But I think if you've got to allocate some time, that would not be one that you have to do, okay? But in order to get started with all that, and so it doesn't become a complete mess, which is what happens to a lot of people, because you start and then it just leads to all of this stuff. You've got 5 different email accounts, then you end up having 3 different accounts in LinkedIn and 2 in Twitter, and it's just a mess. And you aren't going to benefit from anything. So this is just an example of some of the things that are going on out there. And it's just to show you, I mean, obviously, that's not all of it. So you need to have a plan. And the plan needs to be, you need to manage your image, own your name or your brand, same thing. Your name or your brand, you need to own it, and you need to learn about others, okay? And that's that's what you need with social media. So here's the plan, short and sweet. Well, it is 10 steps, so it's not all that short. All right, very first thing, and the ones that I say are a must do, are set up Google Alerts. Who in here knows what Google Alerts is? Anyway, Lisa, okay. If you go to google.com/alerts, and it's on your paper there, it will walk you through the steps of putting in whatever you want it to notify you of when it's put on the web, when it's put on the internet. So Ute, what you would do is you would go to googlealerts.com and you would say in there, Google, every time Ute or Ute Appleby is mentioned or is published on the internet, you alert me. You either alert me right then, or daily, or weekly, you can choose. You know how Google walks you through stuff pretty easily. So then, whenever your name is on the internet, whether you put it there or someone else, you know. And you need to know that. Because if you've got a bad review on Yelp, you're not going to know that unless Google's saying, hey, your name's on here. And actually, it's really, really important to monitor your name, your brand, yourself with Google Alerts. And you can set up multiple ones and definitely do it. Happens, I have them, Agent Owned Realty is one, and I won't go into it too much, but one day I get this alert saying, Agent Owned Realty's in this article, so I push the link. It gives me a little snippet, but I push the link, and it was a post by a realtor from another company that was telling the public that Agent Owned Realty only worked with sellers. They did not handle buyers at all. And that was their post. Needless to say, it's not good. And this was a very highly trafficked site. And this team, their whole business plan was built around web presence. So for them to do that was damaging to our company. And anyway.
So what did you do?
Exactly. What do you do?
Yeah.
Well, we call them and we say we want you to take it off. Oh, well, we can take it off our site, sure, but the minute it went on my site, it was syndicated to at least 2,000 other sites, because that was it back a year ago when link building, before the Penguin Panda and Google, link building was huge. So these people would send them out all over the place. They couldn't get it back. And so then basically it was up to us whether we wanted to sue them or not and sue the company. And I'll leave y'all I mean, I really don't know what happened. I don't know whether we ended up suing them or not. That was out of my hands at that point, but.
I do feel like there's a forum for people out there that they can just say whatever they want.
Absolutely.
And there's really like, you have no recourse.
Exactly. But because one thing we did do, it was a post. We went on there and said underneath that this is absolutely incorrect information. We took it to the board of realtors. But unfortunately, some stuff does get out there. And if you know about it, it's better than not knowing about it. And sometimes you can do something about it. That was an unusual case because that person really had things set up. Most of the time, people don't have things that set up. And they can just take it down. Or just say, oops, or whatever. But it happens, and you need to know about it. So set up Google Alerts. And you can actually set up Google Alerts for other things too. I don't really know what you would want to, but for anything, you can. The second thing is buy your domain. And what I mean by that is that I think that I know every single one of you, if you don't already, need to own your domain name. uteapplebeauty.com. Whether you use it or not, whether it goes anywhere or not, you need to own it. And if you can't get it specifically, then get JuneKimmerlinHomes.com. But I think you have JuneKimmerlin.com. Yeah. Or some variation like that. You need to own your name. A lot of this has to do with getting leads converted, but also, I don't ever want any of y'all to ever leave agent owned. Well, I mean, I don't know all of you all that well yet, so I'm pretty certain I don't want y'all. I can say that with a 99% degree of surety. But if you, for whatever reason, it would be horrible, decided that you wanted to make a switch, which I just can't imagine. For your own good, this is what I'm telling you. Because if you decide you make a switch, you need to have all this stuff set up. Because else you are held hostage by the company that you're with. We don't want to hold anybody hostage. If anybody ever leaves here, they almost always come back or leave a business. But anyway, it's just good protocol, best practice, as a tech person would say, best practices. Okay? Own your domain, even if you don't use it.
Would you recommend, purchasing it from any particular?
The cheapest, it does not matter as far as whether it's GoDaddy, DreamHost.
So you don't have a favorite?
But there is no difference.
Okay.
It's just a matter of, there's no difference in the domain itself. There's a difference in the user experience of the website. Like GoDaddy is fairly easy to use, except for they upsell you every second, and then you get so confused about what you need and what you don't need that you have no idea. But GoDaddy's a little more expensive too. DreamHost is like $9.95, but I know you can get some of them for as low as $5.95, maybe a year. We're talking.
Right. So there's not one functionality-wise that you would prefer us to use?
The real difference comes in when you actually go in to direct it toward a website.
Yes.
And that's what Lisa's talking about the ease of use.
That's right, the user experience. User experience not only of you purchasing it, but when you come to Stokes Ride and say, okay, now I have this website I want it to go to, and then we have to go in. Now GoDaddy, DreamHost, we can do that, not in our sleep, but almost. But you get it from one of these other companies, Direct NIC is one that's very inexpensive. I think you or Art used it something, and the DNS and that is really hard. So anyway, don't pay a lot. It doesn't really matter.
And
Okay.
email,
I'm sorry?
and the email with that site.
Yes, yeah. Well, what I'm going to suggest, and I was meant to talk to you about this before I started talking, but I'm talking now. So, yeah, I guess you could do it that way. That, to me, Stokes is really good with that part of it with domains. I am not as good with it. And I prefer to set up your own Gmail account. Most of you already have it. Now, Agent on Realty is a Gmail
Branded.
mail account. It's an actual Google app. App just means application. But Google is actually hosting that Gmail. But it's not, again, it's not yours. If you leave agent owned, you know, what are you gonna do? It's gonna be a hassle. Get your own Gmail account, okay? And mine's valeralees@gmail.com. That's what I use instead of my agent on realty one. I'm a rebel, I can't help it. That's just who I am. So that's what I recommend. And Stokes will probably strangle me. But you've got to put forward anything that comes to agent on realty account to your personal Gmail account, or your Yahoo, or your Hotmail, or wherever you have email addresses. Have them all go to that Gmail account, all of them. Don't keep multiple email addresses. Have them all go to that one account. And that, again, to not be as confusing. Some people, Mark is extremely organized. I mean, he could probably handle 5 email accounts. But I just don't see the point in it. But anyway. So once you get your own personal Gmail account, and that's very easy to do, you just go to google.com, say Gmail, or you can even go gmail.com. And if you don't have one, it'll walk you through it. Google is very, very happy to walk you through all of this stuff. Now, once you set up that Google account, what I want you to do is then start a practice. Again, you're probably not going to like this. But I was thinking about how this could be done the best way, because everybody has different computers and different operating systems and such. What I do is I keep a list of my passwords and usernames of every site that I join, from LinkedIn to National Geographic Animal Jams to MailChimp. And every time I update it, I email it to myself. So it's in an email, and I call it something. You could call it passwords. If you call it passwords, it's really easy to remember. But it also would be very easy to find if somebody hacked into it. So if you call the subject line Fred, okay, and then whenever you get a new password or username and a new account, you go to your Google search in your Google Mail and you type in Fred, and it's going to pull up Fred, and then you add it and you email it back to yourself again. And you have it all the time, no matter where you are, no matter what computer. Now, I know, Mr. Security doesn't love that, but I think it's worth it. What do you say?
2 things about that. One is, don't use the word password in the email.
Okay.
Because when you send an email, I've said it before, I'll say it again, please. It's a postcard. It's not an envelope that's sealed up. There's no security there.
Right.
So it is open. Anybody can intercept that email.
Right.
That as it travels through cyberspace, anybody can intercept it. There are programs that look for emails and look for the keys like password, login, keywords like this.
I know.
Okay.
I know. It does happen.
The other thing is, when you do it, if you don't want to use the exact password, like 123 ABC, use some kind of code that you're familiar with.
Oh my gosh.
Numbers.
Oh my gosh. See, now that's too much to me. To me. Just because, don't give yourself a password to your password. I mean, you know what I mean? But I do agree with you. Don't put the word password in it. If you put Fred, and you don't even have to put username in it. You could put Fred, and then you have LinkedIn, and then underneath it, you know is your username, and then underneath that is your password. And you know, it's all about how scared you are of somebody hacking. The chances grow every day, and so it's up to you. But you know, you start getting a bunch of accounts, and I can tell you, it works. All right, so once you do that, so now you're set up for. So when you start setting up these accounts that you need, you've got a system. Okay, then go. The very first one I want you to do is your Google Plus profile. And when you're on your Gmail account, you'll see it right there on the top left. In fact, if you go to the next page, I got a picture of my email, my Gmail. The very top is my Gmail account, a little small, and you can see, you see where it says Lisa Valero, and it has a little bell, and it has a 1, sort of before my picture, way on the right. Anyway, that is, that, if I push there, it would say Google Plus. If you had not already done anything with your Google Plus profile, it would be saying add a Google Plus profile. You need to do that. You need to add a Google Plus profile with a picture. And it needs to be a picture of you. And depending on the site, depends on what kind of picture of you. But a picture of your dog on Google Plus profile is not good. It just isn't. I'm sorry if somebody has it. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just telling it like it is. Because you are doing this to present yourself to the public and manage your image. And your image on Google Plus profile needs to be business-like. The next one is LinkedIn. Now do this in a specific order, so there's a reason for it. Go to LinkedIn, use that same Gmail account to set up an account, do your profile, and LinkedIn is definitely a professional network, so use a professional photo. Then go, using that same personal Gmail, set up a Twitter account, do your profile. The Twitter can be a little less serious than LinkedIn. If you want to do something a little different, you can. Still no dogs. And then finally, Facebook. Even though that's the first one everyone talks about, and the reason I said it last, Facebook, you can definitely be more relaxed. I like to play around with it. I think, I don't even know what I have right. And I say always put yourself. I put my kids on there too as my profile picture sometimes, but I try to do it. One of my favorites is I had myself like in the Heisman Trophy. I like that one. But I do silly things like that, and that catches people's attention. So Facebook. Now, when I'm talking about Facebook right now, I am talking about your Facebook personal profile. I'm not talking about your business page, and I'm not going to talk about your business page today. I'm going to talk about your business page on Thursday. And do not get it confused. Do not set up a page. And Facebook, when you first go on there, it wants you to set up a personal profile. That's where it guides you. You have to take yourself to do the business page. So do that part first. Make sure all of the stuff you're using that same Gmail address, and you are recording your username and passwords. And then, once you get all that done, you can go to Facebook apps, or even just do search in Facebook, and you can say Facebook to Twitter, and it'll pull you up the page that you need to have that. You click on it, it'll say, do you want to connect your Facebook to Twitter? You say yes, then Twitter pops up and it says, is that okay? And you say yes, and so then those are tied together. So if you tweet something, it's going to be on Facebook, it's going to be on Twitter, and both of those are a little less, you're showing your personality a little more. So you don't have to worry about, I'm talking about this listing, I don't want to bore people on Facebook with it. And if anybody has trouble with that part, I am more than happy to help you with it. I would love to help you with it. Now, when we get further on with websites, there's a way that every time you post, that goes all through that chain. But we're not talking about that today. This is the 10 steps we're talking about today. All right, so connect your Facebook to Twitter, and then you're ready to do the very last one, which is the most important one, which is reportive. And the reason I wanted you, yeah, you can flip to the next page. The reason I wanted you to do all that first is because in order for reportive to work, it has to be hooked onto a Gmail account. It works slightly different, it's placed slightly different on Agent on Realty Gmail email account than it is on a regular one or non one. So these are examples of what Reportive can do for you when you add it to your Gmail. You go to reportive.com, it's got a huge button and it says add the Gmail. It's free, you add it to Gmail. Now, it will only work if you're using Chrome, Firefox, Safari, okay? Anybody that's using Internet Explorer, it will not work, but no one should be using Internet Explorer anyway because it's, I don't want to offend anyone, it's the devil. So, it's so bad. Everybody needs to not use that anyway.
Why do you say that? Explain that to me, because I...
Internet Explorer does not, it does not render things the way that they truly can be rendered. If you look at certain sites on, say, Mozilla Firefox, and then put it right up next to the same one on Internet Explorer, the Firefox one is going to look different than the Internet Explorer one. Because the Internet Explorer one does not allow for as much creativity, for one. Doesn't allow for a lot of things that the other browsers do. But the reason why there are programs that say we'd rather you use Internet Explorer or it's built for Internet Explorer is because the world, I think it's still 80% of people use Internet Explorer. So you're kind of, as a developer, you're stuck. Even though you know that is the worst one because you can get the least functionality out of it. Does that make any sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, but when you are working with a website, any website, you have to not only design the website for Internet Explorer, but you also have to design it for Firefox and for Safari, for Chrome, because it will show differently on each of them. So, it's complicated. Yeah, browser makes a big difference. Chrome is Google. Google owns Chrome. And so when you play Google's game and you use Google's stuff, it seems to work better. But Firefox is always pretty good too. You know, me being a huge Mac person, you'd think I'm a big Safari person, which is a Mac browser, but I don't care for it. Anyway, so if you look at this page, I gave you 3 examples, or 4 actually, of what Reportive does. When you say hook it to my Gmail, and it says yes, then you go back to your Gmail and you should see up with your profile picture the word Reportive. It's very small, but it means that it is running on your Gmail. And then to the right where I have that red circle, I've circled, I pulled up an email from Scott Fulton, who's with us here at the Mount Pleasant office, and pulled up his information. So does everyone see the red circle I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, what's missing from that red circle?
His picture.
His picture. That's not good. And there's really no information about it. That's not good. Okay. But not that everybody has Reportive, but it's going to happen more and more. I don't want that to happen to y'all. When y'all get pulled up, I want it to be done and done right. If you look at the next one, Pam Cox, this is what, when I emailed her, came up for her. So on the right-hand side of my email, it shows me her picture, her email address, what her, what her position, job is. Also, what's really, really nice about Reportive is that it will list Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. And if you are not already linked in with that person or friends on Facebook, or if you do not already follow them on Twitter, all you have to do is push the button that says follow or connect right there. So you're talking about gaining huge ground with your network because of this. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes?
Yes.
Or no? Yes. Okay, I'm taking that as a yes. It also will tell you a phone number, if she's got them in there, if you can find it. It searches all the social media everywhere to collect everything that it can collect about you. And then, actually, underneath that, it'll give you a little synopsis of the last emails that we had going back and forth. And she's talking about margaritas, so she's all Nicaragua, now. She's very Spanish speaking. Fun. Okay, so the next one over is an example of a lead that came in. I don't know them. They just said, they were looking at these houses, okay? But when I pull that up, guess what comes up beside it? It comes up a picture of them, also their spouse's name, where they are, Farquay, Verena, North Carolina. They're not my friend on Facebook, but it will tell me that the last thing they put on Facebook was 9 months ago, and it's something about Baker Helms family, November 2012. If they used it more recently, you could correspond and ask them if they said something about their son's fish that they caught in Facebook or Twitter. You would know that, and you could reference that and build a relationship, and they'd be like, what? How do you even know this? Okay.
Scary too, right?
Very much so. But it's out there. So, people that are worried about protecting their information or protecting things about themselves, my opinion is forget about it. It's everywhere. If someone wants to find out something about you, they're going to. So just deal with it. And don't try to shelter yourself, or, I don't take nude photos of yourself and put it online or anything, but you know what I mean. Don't, I don't have to tell you that. But you do have to have, but whatever you put online, you are putting out there for your professional world. Even if it is about your family, it needs to be, it's a representation of who you are. And the last one's just another lead that came in. I don't know why I put her on there. She had a little less information. But she's a project analyst at Charleston County Government. That tells me a little bit about her. A lot of times they'll have a phone number on here, and the phone number won't match what's on the lead. That's helpful.
Can I ask a quick question? I don't mean
Sure.
to keep interrupting you.
No, I'm done basically.
Our privacy settings on Facebook, how do you want us to set that up? Friends of friends or everyone?
I do everyone. I don't. Why would you not?
I guess I'm just fearful of, yeah.
See, but now, this is my position and opinion, but I don't see the negative in it. Yeah, you're going to have wackos that ask to be your friend, but I don't know how does that hurt you?
Right.
They
can't get anything from me. Like, you hear people getting hacked all the time, and,
No, that's
that
different.
message didn't come from me.
That's different.
So how are they getting into somebody's?
Through intercepting your password and
Okay.
stuff like that. And then I can never really figure out, I know that there is a reason they do it, but some of it is just to be a hassle to people.
Okay.
Like here, they say you can add a note.
Oh yes, I forgot that part. I forgot that part, yes, and I should have,
make a bad remark, they didn't like you, you can put a note.
yes, and only you can see it.
Oh.
So you can, like, if you want to put a note in there, if I wanted to say, under Pam Cox, I say add a note on this person. I could say, tell her about margaritas, and I'm really happy that she closed the lead that I gave her on Tuesday and wants to buy me a margarita, but I don't really like margaritas. So, and only I can read that. No one else can read that, which is true. She did just close one of the leads. So, I think everybody has to have reported if you're going to be in this business, period. That's what all this was leading up to. And that's all I got. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. I'm going to have them turn off the recording first, though, answer your questions. And then people online, y'all can email me, and I will get the docs up soon. Okay? Thanks. Bye.